What's going on, Nerd Army? Guys, welcome to the newest episode of Nerds Mirage. Today, guys, we are going to continue our episodic fucking adventure into the massive, crazy world of Game of Thrones, guys. Today, we are going to continue with season number 5, episode number 4, titled Sons of the Harpy. So get your daggers, your blades, whatever the fuck you need, and let's jump right into it. Here we go. So we start off with Jorah Mormont with Tyrion over his shoulder, doing some GTA 5 gangster shit, throwing a fisherman the fuck out the way and stealing a goddamn fishing boat. Throwing Tyrion's little ass in and rowing the fuck out of there. We meet up with Jaime and Bronn, who are traveling on their way to Dorne. The entire time, Bronn's just sitting in the goddamn boat, bitching, complaining, itching his crotch, whatever the fuck else he's doing. But he doesn't seem to affect Jaime. Jaime's got one thing on his mind, saving his little girl. Mace Tyrell announces to the rest of the council that we have no fucking money. The crown is way in debt. So Cersei orders Mace Tyrell to get on a fucking ship today with my guards, and they are going to take you to meet with the bank in Bravos, and you're going to go handle this shit with the king's blessing. So go handle your shit. Peace up, 8-time down, bitch. Go. So Cersei meets with the High Sparrow, and she gives the fanatics the power to do whatever the fuck they want, enforce whatever rule they want, so these motherfuckers are released on the city. First thing they do, start taking down people that are fornicating and fucking and taking down brothels and whorehouses and going through the city and killing and breaking all the fucking casks of ale and pouring them all over the streets. No one needs to get drunk. No one needs to have fun. No one needs to get pussy. And yeah. And it ends up in a very, very, very bad place. They end up arresting Sir Loras for sucking a motherfucker's dick. Yeah. So being gay, big no-no. Marjorie ends up hearing about all this bullshit that's going on and that Loras has been captured. She goes to Tommen, who's eating his little sack lunch and enjoying being the little king, and he is pissed. Tommen jumps to it and gets his guards and starts heading directly to the septum, and he is stopped by all the religious fanatics who do not give a fuck that he's the king or that these knights are going to start attacking him. They all stand toe-to-toe with this motherfucker. Tommen is a little bitch and backs the fuck down. Not very kingly, brah. Joffrey at least would have swang at some people. So we're back at Castle Black, and Stannis' stupid little wife is just bitching and complaining about how her daughter is a piece of shit and she hates her daughter. Now, Stannis is a good father to an extent. He does tell her, you know what, this shit needs to stop. You gotta stop complaining about her. She's a good kid. Fuck you. And then we go and see Melisandre giving one last talk to Jon. So she does whatever she has to. She crawls over in front of Jon, opens up her stuff, shows all the goods off. And Big Johnny reaches up and grabs him some fucking nice kajungas and titties. But guys, we need to put a stop to this shit. Jon pulls his hands away. Good boy, Jon, because anyone that fucks with her and touches her tits, something bad happens. So let's not do that. No more demons killing kings. This is bullshit. Girl, don't think we forgot about that demon that crawled out y'all pussy and killed Renly. Littlefinger and Sansa are down in the crypts of Winterfell looking at all the graves, and they see her Aunt Lyanna, and Littlefinger just reminisces on how beautiful she was, and everyone knew how beautiful she was, and she was the most gorgeous woman in Winterfell. And Sansa says, oh, I've heard some different stories about her too. And then it all ends with Littlefinger's about to take off. He decides to plant a fucking kiss in a graveyard with Sansa, and it's disgusting, and he is just an older, gross, creepy motherfucker, and she is just sitting there like, what do I do? And just doesn't want to kiss him back, and it's just so awkward. So Jaime and Bronn are hanging out on the Dornish beach when they're discovered by 3 Dornish soldiers. They start attacking him. Jaime realizes that his gold hand is good for more than just being pretty. He catches a sword in midway and uses his other hand to stab this motherfucker. Now, Jaime, brah, you've had enough time. You need to start practicing with that left hand, because right now you suck balls. Then we go out and we see Oberyn's daughters are all meeting out under this tent in the middle of the desert. And they're three bad little bitches, and they're meeting with Eliana. And I mean, these are the sand snakes. If you don't know that, these are some bad bitches. And they have this bucket sitting in the middle of the sand. They end up knocking it off with a whip, knocking off the bucket, and it's the head of the fucking captain that brought Bronn and Jaime to Dorne. And so they've already caught this fool. They're torturing him. They're about to kill him. They get the information they need from him, and then one of the sand snakes throws a fucking spear into his head and just destroys him in one hit. It was crazy. So Tyrion and Jorah still on the boat, still cruising, and Tyrion basically says, this is a fucking stupid ass idea. You think bringing me to Dany is going to get you back on her good graces? You betrayed her, motherfucker. She knows. And so Jorah's like, shut up, bitch. And he stands up and he just lays this fat fucking pimp hand, backhand, all over Tyrion's face, throwing his ass to the fucking ground in the boat. It was clean. Sorry, Tyrion. I love you, man, but that was a good ass pimp hand. Keep it strong, Jorah. Barristan and Dany are having a little bit of a moment again, talking about this time about her brother. Now they're talking about how her brother used to love to sing, and he'd walk through the city just singing melodies and attracting everyone's attention because he had such a beautiful voice. Then one of the other guys approaches and requests that the fighting pits be reopened, that they're an ancient tradition, and that it would probably quell the Sons of the Harpy and all the revolting. She refuses this, and then we see a massive murdering of Unsullied left and right. Grey Worm is trapped in this long hallway with a bunch of his men, and the rest of them are getting killed. Grey Worm is just murking these fucking fools left and right. Then at the end, we see Barristan show up, and he just starts wrecking these motherfuckers like the night of old. But ultimately, Sir Barristan is caught, is killed. Sir Barristan dies, Grey Worm falling down, landing on him after he takes out the last guy. Was an amazing scene, but we did lose Barristan. He was a gangster and honestly a moral rock for Dany. Now guys, like I said, my favorite part of this episode was the awesome fight scene with Grey Worm and Barristan. Ultimately, we did lose a great moral character, and I think Dany's moral rock at this point because Jorah's gone in Sir Barristan, and I'm really, really bummed because I loved that character, guys. I'm really pissed that this happened, but let's find out what happens next time, guys. So, guys, let me know what you guys thought about this episode and my recap and review in the comments below. Make sure you guys keep up with all the videos we put out every week and come back and watch the next Game of Thrones video right here on Nerds Mirais. So, guys, like this video, share it, and I will see you next time right here on Nerds Mirais for another video. All right, guys. Peace out.